Hey everyone, and welcome to today's another special video with Dremel, and today we're going to talk about DSM20. It's a completely different product that I did so far with Dremel. We had 3000, 4000, and today we're going to talk about a much bigger cutting saw, let's put it that way. So what I wanted to say first, right, before we start and talk about the product, actually, almost every Dremel product comes in a box that looks, first of all, it looks cool, but then again, it's quite handy because you can carry it around, and it's quite practical because in the box you have all the positions for your accessories that you get and that you might buy additionally for instance, DSM20. Now in this box, and I'm quite excited to show you this, we have loads of parts. First of all, this is the addition for the DSM20 for the vacuum cleaner. So you connect this part to your DSM20 and this part to your vacuum. This way, when you cut wood or anything else that basically leaves parts or leftovers, vacuum sucks it out directly, and it's not that big of a mess afterwards. So in that case, you kind of get a cleaner working area, for instance. Then you get three cutting saws. One is for PVC and for wood. It's quite sharp, actually, logical. But then again, we have other discs that aren't that sharp when you touch them. But still they do the job when they spin up quite fast. And this one is made for steel, and you have three of them. This might remind you to the ones from Dremel 4000, but in quite smaller design, and because of it these can last much longer. Now next to that you have some sort of a 2-inch times 4-inch guide, which gives you a possibility to cut or to place something in between and to cut straight. Then we have some sort of a, let's say, a ruler that gives you possibility to cut long straight lines. And of course, finally, we have the DSM20. It's a bit of a heavy machinery. Actually, it's 1.7 kilos, so you'll feel it in your hands when you're working. And of course, the original instructions, instruction manual or whatever. So this is it when it comes to the box content. The accessories that you could buy additionally are the blades. Of course, they're expendable, so you're going to definitely need to buy more of these. Now, what's this all about? First of all, you have a lever right here that you release this part, and you can adjust the depth of the cut from 0, of course you're not going to cut anything, from 5 to 20 millimeters, and adjusting it is quite easy. You basically have here numbers. When you find the exact distance that you want, you just find, for instance, let's put it on 10 millimeters, you turn it on, lock it, and you have 10 millimeters of cut. So for instance, you're cutting, I don't know, for instance, example, you have a table and you want to cut a canal for your cables beneath or above, it doesn't matter, I'm just giving an example. You decide 5 millimeters is quite alright, you take it out, here we go, and you have loads of material to cut. Basically with Dremel 4000 it would take quite a while, and you won't get that straight line unless you have a ruler or a tape so you can follow the lines. With this one, when you cut, it actually does do quite straight lines, just because the blades are really bigger than the Dremel 4000. And right here at the top you have a cutout, which kind of, if you draw a line, you can follow it quite nicely and it won't go sideways. When you're done with two lines, you can just easily move it left to right and basically cut out the parts that are extra and in the middle. So for bigger cuts, the DSM200 really can, let's say, replace Dremel 4000. But this is a heavy duty machinery, 17,000 RPMs, 1.7 kilos, openings here to cool down your motor inside, and you have of course the locking mechanism for turning it on. So it's not possible to turn it on by accident, and this is I would say a safety precaution. With this one I would suggest for the louder noise to use either some sort of dampening headsets, noise dampening headsets. But if you're used to loud noise, then just use something to protect your eyes. This is quite important. How do you turn it on? Basically, you have this black lever, push it forward and press the big blue button. If you want to lock it and you don't want to be pushing it constantly while working and then get most likely cramps in your hand, you have a button here at the back, push it and it locks the big blue button. If you want to release it after you're finished, just push the big blue button and it releases everything. The motor stops quite fast and you don't get a chance to have any certain accident unless you're really not careful. Additionally to this, you have a lock mechanism right here at the top, so you use your Allen wrench, open it counterclockwise and you release the screw that holds the blade. Basically, when releasing the screw, you have one more part that needs to be removed. When removing it, you use the blade. You have the directions which the blade goes. Place it inside, place the top silver part and then screw it back inside and lock it firmly so the wheel doesn't fall off. You're still holding the lock, and there you go. So it's inside. You can see that it can turn nicely. It can turn in both ways, but the motor is working only in one direction. The same way you remove the blade by pressing the lock, you also have to adjust the wheel, the blade, and when you find the exact spot when you can press the actual lock button, then you can put the Allen wrench inside and twist it off. It's quite interesting machinery without a doubt, and definitely going to be used in my modding series or whatever when I do custom builds for my projects. Now, some specifications that you need to know: works on 220 to 240 volts. Maximum power is 710 watts, as already stated, 1.7 kilos, 17,000 RPMs. Maximum depth is 20 millimeters and the diameter of the blade is 77 millimeters. When we're talking about some features, you have an exceptional viewpoint when it comes to cutting to get more precise cuts, and I'm mentioning that on the front where you can actually see the cuts. It has an abrasive disc for straight and deep cuts in wood, metal, ceramics, plastics and concrete. And already stated, you have a strong motor up to 710 watts. In my situation, I'm going to use the DREMEL DSM20 in cutting basically the whole panel of the case, for instance, because with the DREMEL 4000 it would take quite a while and I would use up like 5 to 10 those small blades. With this, I think I could take out the whole panel out without even losing half of this disc, which is quite faster, easier, and it doesn't give you some sort of a, it's not time consuming. So precise cuts, no wobbliness in DREMEL 4000, and it does give you more precise cuts, as I already stated. I think I said that like a couple of times, but nevertheless. Quite interesting piece of equipment that if you're into DIY stuff, this would be quite interesting because the cuts are nice, straight, and you don't have any leftovers, so it really does cut the piece completely out. As we did with the DREMEL 4000, I'm not going to show you any practical appliance with this device, because in my future videos you'll be able to check out how I'm going to use the DREMEL DSM20. So yeah, that's that. All in all, quite interesting device, and you'll see the appliance definitely But also don't forget to subscribe to check it out later on. Click the thumbs up button for the DSM20 and click the notification bell so you don't miss that video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in another one. Bye bye.